Hi, my name is Brian Benson with James Bean Estate Sales, and today I'm here to talk to you about how important is the original box your item came in. Now, when we talk about boxes, a lot of times we get confused over, something being in the original box versus not being in the original box, and sometimes people aren't quite sure how much of a difference that makes. And to kind of explain where the difference lies is you kind of have to go back to what we call the mid-70s. And if you look at the antiques and collectible market before the 1970s, what you're going to notice is there's really not much of a collectible market. The antiques market was there, good and strong, but really most collectibles before then that had any value were money and stamps. And really the whole concept of, when people collected baseball cards or anything else, which obviously they did, people really weren't collecting those items thinking they're going to have any value. They just collected them for fun. And then in the mid-70s, I remember traveling with my father as we were looking at antiques in different antique stores, and people would talk about the Mickey Mouse watch, and if it was worth money, and if you had the box, it was even worth twice as much money just for having the box. And as you get into the 80s, you start seeing that people started keeping the boxes with them because of this rumor that, if you have the box, it's going to be worth a lot more money. And then as you get into the 90s, you start seeing a lot more people where what they do is they maybe take items out of the box, everything's just kept mint in the box and unused. So, and that makes a big difference on the pricing of stuff. So when we look at stuff before the 1970s, like we take Barbie for example, Barbie in 1958 when she was released, she still has a value even if she's just a Barbie doll. Even if she's been played with or heavily played with, she's worth something. If she hasn't been played with, she's even worth a little bit more. And if you have the original box she came in, well, she's going to be worth more even with the box. And the box itself might also be worth money without the Barbie. If you went to 1999 and you looked at the Barbies then, well, she's only going to be worth money if she's brand new, mint in the box, never taken out. If you ever played with her or took her out, she's going to have no value. And largely this is because everybody who bought those dolls, they were all kept pristine in the containers. So when you've got $1,000 to pick from, you're going to pick the one that's still brand new in the box. You're not going to pick the used Barbie that someone's been playing with. And that's why there's such a big disconnect when we're looking at values of the items within boxes. Because basically in the 70s or before, these boxes were unimportant. So when you get the box, it's kind of a rare treasure. When you start looking into the 80s and 90s and now up to now, well, the box is so common. If you don't have the box, you basically have an item that's going to be mostly worthless as far as a collectible goes. And also the other thing we kind of look at when we're talking about these is usually when we decide, is the item worth money with the box or without the box on a newer item, it is largely it's going to be toys that are going to be the most critical that you have the original box. Also, often it is items that the packaging is made to display the item well inside of the original container. And a lot of times these are toys, where they have clear fronts so you can see the toy inside the box. Usually that's where you're going to notice that you're going to have a lot of the values always going to be the toys. When you see items such as China that is inside of a box, it might have a picture of the item in the box, but it's not clear. A lot of times you don't see really the box making that big of a difference. And every category kind of has its own little rules for this. So I always say, you have to kind of know what you're collecting to know whether, is the box critical to the value or not critical to the value. And as a kind of a fun little aside, when I talk about the boxes being worth money, a lot of times I try to explain this to some of our estate sale customers about not throwing away things before we see them. I once had a customer who we were going through her house and she had some stuff stored inside an old little cardboard box. The little pistol came in. And when I was looking at the pistol, my father collected guns, and I recognized the box, and it was a little cardboard box that was a late 1800s Colt Army pistol came in, and I knew it was going to have a little bit of value, and I put it on eBay for the lady. I figured she'd get a couple $100 for it, and then at the end of the sale, I'd be able to surprise her with this little cardboard box sold for $200. Well, we were quite surprised at the end of the auction when her actual little cardboard box brought $1,300, or almost $1,300, and she about fell over, and I thought we were going to have to call 911 after I told her how much money her little cardboard box she was going to throw away actually made her at the end of the sale. And anyway, so now you kind of know, the general rule of thumb for why is a box important versus why is it not important. And now you can, when you look at your sales, you'll know what to do. So if you'd like to come try to find an expensive box of your own, you may visit our website at jamesbeanestatesales.com and you can find the closest sale near you.